Right, we'll declare the Council Ordinary Meeting on the 13th of November open at 9 a.m. Pursuant to Section 13 of the Local Council's Local Law Number 2. I'm inviting the Interim and Management Committee members present today, being Jan Taylor, Simone Webb, Rob Jones and Stan Gallo, to address the Council on any matters before it. I'm bound to declare conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest, and the members of the Interim Management Committee are not legally bound to do so, but in accordance with the Interim Management Committee's charter, they will also declare conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest. Attendance at the meeting, I'll confirm my attendance. Thank you to Jan, Simone, Stan and Robert who are here today. Agenda item B is acknowledgement of country, and Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges traditional owners as custodian of the land. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging as the keepers of the traditions, cultures and stories of a proud people. I would ask you all to stand now please for a reading of the prayer. Let us in silence pray or reflect upon our responsibilities to the people of Ipswich. We meet today to serve our community, to use our resources wisely and well, to represent all members of our community fairly, and to make decisions that promote the common good. Thank you. I have no apologies and leaves of absence. Agenda item E, condolences and memorials. No full memorials to Council, but just noting for the minutes that on behalf of Council I attended the Remembrance Day event on the 11th of November, celebrating 100 years since armistice was signed on behalf of Council. Petitions and representations, agenda item F. There are no formal petitions to a Council meeting today. Again, just noting for the minutes that there is a petition being lodged in the State Parliament, residents against incineration, sort of waste to incineration. As last I saw online, it was about over 4,000 signatures to that petition to Parliament, the Queensland Parliament. Agenda item G, confirmation of minutes. So we're looking at two sets of minutes, the regular meeting on the 16th of October and the special meeting on the 29th of October. And resolving that the minutes of the Council Ordinary Meeting held on the 16th of October be confirmed, and also resolving the minutes of the special Council meeting held on the 29th of October be confirmed. And just to note a couple of things in those minutes. In the 16th of October, the community reference groups were noted there on page 6 of our papers, as in the proposal to re-establish and restructure the way that the Council engages with the community. And the purpose of that, the paper is not up for Council meeting today, it'll come up in the next month or two, is really looking at realigning our community engagement towards our strategy of Council to better meet the needs, I think, of community and have proper and appropriate community impact across all areas of Council operations in the future. And the second issue to note, I think, is the wind-up of Ipswich City Properties. This again in the minutes of the 16th of October. I made some comments at the last Council meeting that Council would prepare a report. I just want to note that in this meeting that we'll prepare a report, an independent report into the total life cycle cost of Ipswich City Properties, and that will be published hopefully early next year. So that'll capture all the costs of creating, operating and closing down Ipswich City Properties, and that will also compare that to the cost of Council if the Council had done the development to date on its own without the company. So that'll give the community of Ipswich a very clear view of the actual cost of the company life and the cost that would have been incurred anyway, so that we can dispel any concerns about what the extent of that is, and just to make that very clear and transparent. Agenda item H, reception and consideration of committee meetings, committee reports. So I will resolve that the Economic Development Committee report, number 1 of the 7th of November, be received and adopted. Growth and Infrastructure, received and adopted. Communities, Environment and Governance, all reports are received and adopted. And some comments to note again on those reports. That was obviously the first time that we operated the committees on the basis of the new 5-committee structure around the Advanced Ipswich Agenda. I think it went pretty well, as I said when we set the process up, that we would do this and refine it as and when we need it to. Anyone who reads those committee reports will notice a couple of things. If you look at the Economic Development Report, we did have a discussion in that committee about some of the events that were put up to that report probably should be better placed to Communities Report. And the principle we're working on is if an event is proposed for Ipswich and it's really an event to encourage business or growth or external participation, as in tourism, that's an Economic Development Committee report. And if an event is proposed and it really is about the local community of Ipswich enjoying aspects of living in Ipswich, as in Christmas, that's a Communities report. Clearly they're not black and white, there are shades of grey, but I think that's the fundamental purpose of those events will slot into those committees, and we'll see how that goes. I'll note the growth and infrastructure minutes reflect the proposal to commence a new planning scheme. So the objective is, by the time of the next local government elections in March 2020, is have as close as we can a draft planning scheme. Extensive community engagement up front and focusing a lot of time on the overall strategy as opposed to the details. So we will certainly not have a new planning scheme in place by the time of the next local government elections, but we'll have hopefully a draft that the community can consider after also contributing on the way through to the strategy. In the Communities Report, I note that we talked extensively about the reference groups, the community reference groups. I just mentioned that before about restructuring those to match our alignment. And I did make a comment in the Governance Committee. There was a paper there about licences and permits using land, and again we'll translate that into the Communities Committee, because it really is not about the land, it's about how we're empowering and assisting and encouraging communities. So I think that's the fundamental purpose of licensing some land is actually empowering communities, so it properly belongs in Communities Report. So we'll get those things straightened out as we go through. So any comments from the IMC members in the process? No. Thanks. Agenda item H, consideration of notified motions. We don't have any. J, reception of notices for motion of future meetings. Again, none. Questions? Any questions from the group? No. And today we have no officers' reports. And the last agenda item, consideration of items placed by a councillor. We have no items as well there. In the absence of any other information, we'll close the meeting at 9:08 AM. Thanks very much.